Yeah, how are you? Yeah. Nice to meet you. That's Mohammed.
Hi, Mohammed. Just feel free to mingle and
Brought some tips. Let's go ahead and set up set the laptop.
I don't have a presentation, and I just made up the organization. But on Thursday night, we partnered with Habitat for Humanity at Centennial Park, receiving the hold us at 6:30. And right now, the only people doing it are me and my dog. So if anybody can help, just even if you cook food, I come and pick it up. 6:30 we feed, and then at 7 Habitat does the program. So thank you. And really, I'm Kobe. So no Kobe.
What's your dog name?
Colby. That's why it's called Colby Cares. Colby's the diva. Debbie of Save It Now Wait. Thank you. Let's see what else you got. T-shirt or two. I don't have any live presentation in there. A couple movies going on for that. So anyway, here we go. I'm with Save It Now Blaze, and that was another organization. But anyway, this is our original T-shirt when we worked to help stop the coal plant in the endangered Everglades. And we were successful. Of course, we had a new governor, and that helps a lot. And he didn't like coal, so that's good. Now, the next deal is, right now, that Florida Power and Light has said, okay, we're not going to do coal, we're going to do nuclear. And it was like, oh no. So anyway, these are our new T-shirts. Florida Power and Light claims that nuclear is not a fossil fuel. It is. It's from uranium. It's mined, it's milled, it's transported, it's finite, all those things. It's fossil fuel. So anyway, we're working on that one now. We've been to the Everglades Coalition, a bunch of us, just over this past weekend, and I shook his hand. And he was at the Lori Davis, Sheryl Crow conference back in April, and at that time the PSC hadn't decided yet about the coal, and I went up to him and asked him to sign my no coal petition, and he thanked me for doing what I was doing. He wouldn't sign it, but he did help us to fix the coal plant, so that was really cool. I just met him the other day over at the Everglades Coalition again, and I said, I asked him to sign my petition and you wouldn't do it, and he said to me, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, that was pretty good. And I handed him a disc, and he gave it to his secret service assistant, whoever it was there, and it was called People, Planet, and Profit, and it was about energy solutions, which have nothing to do with nuclear, but definitely has to do with solar energy and how it could be our resource for taking care of the energy problems that we have, if we could get big business as usual out of the way. So anyway, we're working on that. I'm sending him some other stuff, and hopefully he'll have somebody work on it. If you want to sign up for Save It Now Blaze, we'll put you on our email list, and you can get all the updated information, what's going on. If you want to help us in any way, there's some information over there on the floor about the Public Service Commission. We have until January 30th, as far as I know. They're going to have a hearing in Tallahassee. But until they have a hearing, you can email your comments to the Public Service Commission about that proposed. I say proposed, because that's what we did with the coal plant. And guess what? Okay, so proposed nuclear plant, which are really crazy because they do so much water. They don't want to shoot the waste at this point. I mean, you don't need all these pieces. So most of them are on the page there and a lot of websites. You can look up what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm very active in the area. I work with Sierra clubs and several locations in Florida. I kind of do things on my own. The Unitarian Church, Unity Church, Mother God House of Prayer had a wonderful workshop called Coming Home to Deep Time, and it was about the new triple bottom line of people, planet, and profit, which we are going to have to do. Sustainable communities. Judy Rich from the White Dog Cafe in Philadelphia. We had all kinds of good information on this awesome 15-minute video, which we had fun today. I showed to you. Probably don't. It's called The Awakening Universe, and you can get a copy. You can order a copy from them. And it's got scenes from the telescope and the National Geographic and the cell leaping, and it's just really, really wonderful. It tells us like it is as far as what we're doing to the environment. And it offers some hope because we can do something once we're aware of it. We can start acting on it. I think that's a lot out of me. If anyone wants to join as a member for $20, I would be happy to supply you with a T-shirt today. If you want to just sign up and be on the email list, I'd be really thrilled about that as well. Okay, I guess that's it for the moment, and I hope you sign my petition to tell Public Service Commission no nuclear.
Can everybody hear me? Yes. My name is Don Belcher. I'm with EPAC, which is the Environmental and Peace Education Center. And first I want to thank Angela and the Student Professor Alliance for sponsoring this event today. And I especially want to thank ONS because he has been wanting this to happen for a long, long time. And I'm so very glad for him and for all of us that we are making this happen today. EPAC is a community-based organization based in Fort Myers. It's this year 26 years old. And as the name suggests, we work primarily on peace issues and the environment. Last number of years, we've been working mostly on trying to get us out of the war in Iraq. And last year, we've had put the environment back in EPAC. We've been showing the film Yellow on Towers, which talks about that. I first saw it at a David Alcoy's meeting here in Fort Myers, where I first saw the film. And we also started the Community Gardens Committee all around. And we have, last Monday, we had a meeting with some really good news. We met a woman who teaches at the Milburn Academy, which is I think it's about 300 students, and it largely serves the Dunbar area. And they would like to partner with EPAC great if everybody here can sign up, or at least all the groups, so we can continue.
We have a phone tree up there.
Okay, I need to read that. Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Don't buy this is war. Okay, who here heard of cocaine? All right. This is what we're going to do. Real quick, I know there's Cocaine is a women-initiated grassroots organization that started right after Bush declared war on Iraq. And a couple of women, really powerful activist women, got together and said, let's do an action. Let's do an action. Bush had just declared the Homeland Security thing, Code Red, Code, the fear code, and Code Orange for cautious, Code Yellow. So they got together with Medea Benjamin, Sarah Hawk, and Diane Wilson, and a couple other women, and they said, let's declare Code Pink for peace. So it started out as one action, and it's become now a grassroots organization with over 300,000 people just on our mailing list. We're in about 250 cities, and we're doing everything we can to stop the war. We get outrageous, we wear bright pink, we're not just women. We get in the faces of our lawmakers, who some people think we're a little bit too irreverent, but the war and the killing is irreverent. And so we have a lot of fun. We dress up, and so in most major anti-war demonstrations you'll see around the country, or if you watch C-SPAN too, you'll see us there in our pink, saying get out of Iraq now, bring our troops home, and stop this next war. And here in the Fort Myers area, a couple of us decided to start a Code Pink chapter just about 7 months ago. Nancy and Dana and Frank, and I think Cindy here with us. And what we want to do here in the Fort Myers area is support all the anti-war activities that are already happening, and show up in pink and get more and more people to come. We do have an e-list, and about 25 people have joined it, but so far only 3 of us, or 4 of us, show up for stuff. But we're new, we're young, we're just getting the word out as far as being here. We're young as a group, maybe some of us have gray hair, but we do want to come up with some really creative and outrageous actions to do here, and one of the things we want to do is what's going on in some of the major cities like New York and Los Angeles is to do some regular banner drops. Make huge banners that say something like stop the war now, or don't buy Bush's war, don't take action for Bush's war, and hang them down off freeways or bridges. You can get arrested for it or not, whatever. But Code Pink does a lot of direct action. There's many, many members that don't get that radical, but they really support what we're doing. There's others that are willing to put their spells on the line and do direct action and civil disobedience. I was just with a group of Code Pink activists from all over the country in Miami a week and a half ago, and we did a 2-day action to shut down Guantanamo Bay. And we're really been speaking out against the torture that's been happening, not just at Guantanamo, but also in Bagram and in other secret military bases where we don't just arrest people. First, we put a price on heads for someone who might be a terrorist, and then we buy them. We buy these prisoners, we disappear them, and they're doing it with our tax dollars and our money. So that's another campaign that we have, put it into torture. And we actually targeted a real terrorist in this country last week. I don't know if you know who he is, and that's a whole other story. But anyway, I have cool t-shirts, I have a bunch of stickers, and sign-up sheets too, and so I'm going to put them all out over here. Thank you for inviting me.
Our main purpose here is to educate, unify, and initiative awareness project where everyone had on a shirt that on the front it said positive and on the back it said negative. And the positive means keeping the positive things in front of us and the negative things behind us. And we stood out with our signs that had different events of the civil rights movement. On the 15th, we had a birthday celebration for Dr. King. We recited his speech, his I Have a Dream speech, and we gave out 153 cupcakes of his birthday. And later on that night, we had a ceremony where we invited Althea Paul from Wink News and different people in the community to come to speak. And we had a choir come to sing. And throughout the week, we had different events going on. We had several forums. We had daily service. Like yesterday, we went to Barnes and Noble and we read to the children. And tomorrow, we're participating in the Fort Myers March for Martin Luther King Day. In February, we have events every single day of the week because it's like history. And our main thing here on campus that we struggle with every day is trying to get people to our events, to our meetings, and to understand that even though it says Black Student Alliance, it doesn't mean only Black people come. We have members who are different race and different shades of color and everything. We're just trying to get out there that even though we're all different, we all are one.
Erica and Laura from the FGCU Environmental Association.
Our group was reinstated last quarter here at FGCU, so we spent a lot of our time talking about what is going on campus and what we would like to be involved in and what changes we would like to see going on here in our campus community. And what we came together and worked for is developing a biofuel program here on campus where we could be converting, well, the idea is to convert the waste oil out of the cafeteria and turn it into fuel to run campus transportation buses to get on our and people were really responsive to it. The government was really supportive of it. They all got into it. A lot of the people that sponsored our bill researched it and really showed a huge interest in it. Where we planned a workshop to bring in Ms. Lady Gomer, who is such a neat person. She rides around the country in a big Eagle truck teaching guided workshops. She's a very who actually was going to do the workshop this weekend and can't do it this whole day. But until further notice, everybody is invited. It's sponsored by the student government, which is going to be very cool. Ultimately, we would like to put in a station on campus where we could do some sort of exchange where students work in exchange for human service hours, campus programs. That's huge, and that's going to take a lot of support from so many different people involved. But just talking about it and planning it and reaching out to people in the community that make values and make values on the state. And not just values, but other forms of alternative power for people. So that's what we've been focusing on. We talk about gardens and, you know what I mean, like different parts of life that we can instill here. But that also takes a lot of involvement. Yeah, we're going to try and pull off the biodiesel. Getting it on campus, I feel like is going to be such a wonderful, huge thing to accomplish. And it's doable because it's not like it's not being done all over the country. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not, there's no reason not to have it going on campus. Like, it'll save campus money, it'll lower the footprint. You know what I mean? Like, it closes the circle with transportation. So, Aramark, it's huge to go through because they're a little responsive, but it's basically like, as soon as someone tells them that they have to give us the oil, like it's about getting his boss to say, have to give us this. That's what we're working on, and we're looking for
in the workshop, everyone's invited to the workshop. Sponsors by the student government. We're going to actually leave, everyone will leave with a leader of science when that happens. It's going to be very cool. So yeah, we're doing fundraising, different kinds of, we have shirts, we don't have any shirts right now, but we have big batch of shirts and all of these there. We meet when we haven't met yet this quarter. Last quarter we met on Thursday, but yeah, but we're kind of waiting. There's a core group of kids that actually show up to the meetings, you know what I mean? So we're going to wait for, I didn't know that was just the quarter, but we're going to wait and find the time when make it happen for those people that really want to make it. Because it's fun, like people are big, people have been coming out and talking about it and going off of themselves and doing project content. And that's what's really going to build programs, people that actually want to.
Do you have a sign-up sheet that we can put our names and phone numbers or emails to, and then you can let us know?
Sure can.
I'd just like to say that we tried doing this a while ago, but I don't know if it's been around for a while, and
First of all, let me thank Angela and her organization. This possible and given us the opportunity to meet a lot of people who are dedicated to their cause. So we appreciate you all, especially the students here. And I have a special thing to say about the students today. Let me first introduce myself to you. My name is Mohammed Al-Ghassan. I am originally from Damascus, Syria. I've been in this city of Fort Myers for the last 16 years. I've lived here since 1991, full time. I came from Damascus, Syria, as I said, and currently I head the Islamic Center for Peace, located in Fort Myers. I've been on this campus many times before, but this is the first time I am with a student organization in a meeting that way. So thank you, Angela. One of the main reasons I'm here really is just to share with you what our mission is, which I would like you to take it seriously, personally, and spread the word also about. Our main mission is to educate this community in Southeast Florida about Islam. We all know there's a big war going on right now between the West in general, the United States in particular, and the Islamic world in the East. It's a conflict that is not going to end, as they say, in our lifetime, and I don't think it will. The reason is ignorance. We are extremely ignorant of each other. We just listened to Martin Luther King speaking about the war in Vietnam, and 99% of those guys, boys and girls, who went, fought, or died in Vietnam did not know even where Vietnam was on the map until they were 16. Unfortunately, this country did not learn, and this culture did not learn from that mistake. Till today, there are still people in this country, and I'm talking about the majority of the people, who thinks we have to fight Islam and Islamic terrorists, and they have no earthly idea what Islam is, what Muslims are about, who they are, and where they live, and what they do, and what their culture is, and what their history is. All they know must go and kill some behind their mind. Muslims Muslims are approximately a fourth of the world. Every 4 people on this earth, one of them is a Muslim. And unfortunately, most people in this country don't know this fact. And they think the world is this country. So we are trying to do our best, educating people, educating educators. You'll be surprised. I need professors in universities. I need clergy. I need college students who have no clue. They have no clue what the Middle East is, what Islam is, what Muslim countries are in the world, and who they are fighting. So what we are trying to do is educate people about Islam, the most peaceful religion on earth, the most progressive religion on earth, the most environmentally sensitive religion on earth, the most education religion on earth, that system that takes everybody from being nobody and make him the best human they can be. And yet people so ignorant about it to the degree they don't know the history of Islam or what Muslims are. You guys, you study in the university, they teach you history in high school, in college, and they jump straight from the fall of the Roman Empire to the Renaissance. And they forgot that there is about 1,000 years of time. Where is this time? What happened to people during this time? They will tell you Islam was leading the world at that time. And everything we enjoy today, technologically, every scientific advance we have at our hands today is an Islamic.
Well, that's not true. So indigenous people doing these efforts.
I agree with you 100%. We're not here to debate that. I'm talking about the Western civilization. That's what I got. Okay. Sorry about that. We don't mean to exclude. Also, they forget to say Islam included every human being sharing in that civilization. Christian, Jews, Muslims from Africa, Muslims from the Middle East, Muslims from Europe, Muslims from China, from India, from everywhere. Everybody contributed to that. 100%. And that is forgotten. And yet, we have a war today waged against the Muslim nations. We name it terrorists. People look at me and people like me and my brothers and sisters in Islam and they think we are terrorists. They have fear. I have people saying that about me after leaving their houses. Those people who took me with them before, they were told, please don't bring these terrorists back. Why? Again, it is ignorance. And all we are trying to educate people about those issues. And the academic communities, especially the students, and this is a fact, unfortunately, most American students don't know. Students everywhere in the world, in every country, really, they are in charge and control of the policies of the society and the culture. They can bring governments up, they can bring them down. They can educate people. They can start revolutions. They can do a lot of things. Here, they don't need to start a revolution. The means are available for all the students to educate themselves first and educate the community second by doing what Angela and you guys are doing. The means available for you. What we ask of people, you heard me, you heard about a lot about Muslims, but you never heard of a Muslim speaking before, probably. And you probably don't know what Islam is all about. You hear about the religion out there. Ask me, come to our classes. What I want to share with you finally is that we have a class now. We're starting at the last day of March for 5 weeks on Thursday night from 6:30 to 8:30 at our center on Lynn High. It's called Islam, a religion, and a way of life. Islam, a religion, and a way of life. This course, if you want to take it at the university, is going to cost you at least $500. We offer refreshments, food, and everything. If you would like to come once a week for 6 weeks, you're more than welcome. We'll have multimedia presentations, videos. You'll meet some of the Muslim community members, and you get to learn about Islam. And if you like what you hear, and you like what you hear now, invite us to talk to your organization and share with you our experiences and learn from us, and we'll learn from you. And that's the only way we can stop the war. people are weak and knowledgeable about what they are getting into and against who they are going to fight, then they might take a stand and stop. Just like some people did during the Vietnam War and people doing right now. Refusing to fight against innocent people, Muslims, women, children, elderly, killed for no reason, just because somebody wanted to control the oil of the world and create an enemy for Islamic terrorism that is a factor that is no location, no identity, no place to fight it or locate it to defeat it. So, in order to do that, you need to be educated. And in order to be educated, you have to have people like us, myself and other Muslims, to speak to you and educate you about the world of Islam. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you, Angela, and thank you all for listening. And I hope you got one of these flyers I have for the course, take it with you. And if you like to do it, just email me or call me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeff George, and I'm running for Congress here in this district, the 14th Congressional District of Florida. It's kind of a nice little full circle to be talking to you here today. The last time I was speaking at FGCU was about 5 years ago, right before the invasion of Iraq, and that's actually when I met Muhammad for the first time. And we got up there, and everybody who spoke that day said what a horrible mistake invading Iraq would be. It's not too late to turn back, and we need to rethink this whole thing. And then that was probably the first time I was ever out as an activist, and that was the first time I got press coverage. And the news press basically said everything that we went out there and talked about amounted to Bush fascism. And pretty much all of it called us crazy. And we know some of us who are a little older, and you students here, progressives have been struggling against the stream for a long time. We know that we've been seen as a minority. We've been seen as coming out of left field for probably about the last 30 years now. But with everything that's going on, the times are changing. The tide is turning. And for the first time, people are out there, and they're not, the mainstream media is not laughing at the progressive agenda anymore. Still not as out there as we'd like, but it's getting better. And right now, you know, we see all the candidates. We see the Democratic candidates in particular, and even the Republican candidates, are all out there talking about the need for change. Well, the problem is you know, what these front runners are offering for change, I think everybody in this room and all the issues that all the groups so far tonight have brought up, realistically, with the front runners that we're seeing on both parties, we're not going to see much of a, I don't expect to see much of a change. I'd be happy to be wrong, but I don't expect much. And after next month, when the presidential primaries wind down, we need to really get out there and not just focus our attention on the big presidential race, but we need to look at Congress as well. What is so essential is we need to restore the constitutional balance of power between the legislative branch, between the judicial branch, and between the executive branch. We need to get away from this idea of an imperial presidency that has developed under the Bush administration, and I don't see the front runners who are out there now giving up much of that power. So we've really got to focus a lot more attention on Congress than what we may have done in the past. Now, as those of you who live here in this district, you may know Connie Mack is our current incumbent, and you know, it's funny, no matter where I go, I talk to libertarians, I talk to progressives, I talk to Democrats and Republicans, and I seem to get that same reaction from everybody. So that's a good sign. I'm running myself as an independent, and right now it looks like we've got a four-way race. We've got our incumbent, Connie Mack. We've got our Democratic challenger, who I understand is a professor here at this university, Larry Burns. We've also got Bert Saunders, who is currently a state senator and a lifelong Republican, who has decided to give up his Republican status and run as an independent against Connie Mack. So that should tell you a lot about how well regarded our current congressman is. And then lastly, we've got myself. We've got the crazy guy in the race. Yeah, I know. Either Robert Nell or Larry Sanders will get the Democratic nomination, so we'll see how that goes. But,
Very good.
yeah. What did I say? Sunday night. It'd be nice to have Larry Sanders running. But, so what we need to do is we need to do things a little differently. Now, last month we had a really good month. We raised about $4,000 for our campaign, and I expect to be raising about $4,000 or $5,000 every month. Now, as all of you know, that's peanuts compared to what the GOP, Connie Mack is raising about $100,000, $150,000 a quarter, it seems. So what we've got to do is we've got to do something different. We've got to depend on people power, and more importantly, we've got to use the new media in a way that's never really been done before, and that's what all these cameras are about. What we're doing is, as I'm running, everything that I say and do in the context of the campaign, and most of the time while I'm awake, in my temporary home, which is actually my campaign office now in Fort Myers, I'm on camera as well. And the reason that we're doing this is because, you know, we talk about all of these issues, and all of these issues are vitally important, but we run up against one thing. We run up against the corruption in the system. And the way that we can tackle that corruption is by a simple watchword that we have. What we need is we need more transparency, more integrity, and more accountability. And that's what this campaign is all about. Transparency, integrity, and accountability. So, as I stand up here before all of you today, what I have to do is I have to ask you, as progressives, to not just go out there and do the important tasks of raising awareness and leading these protests, but to engage in the most important form of activism that we have in this country available, and that is to get directly engaged in the system. And I will be happy to talk to all of you. I haven't heard anything tonight, any issues or any positions that I disagree with. You know, one of the most important things is I want to make sure that I'm not a candidate that comes up here and says what you want to hear and dances around the issues. I really want to engage the issues. I want to talk to your groups individually. We'll get some time online on our website. We'll put out some videos on YouTube for all your organizations. And lastly, we need your help. We need your help to make this a real, viable congressional candidacy. We need to make the rest of the country stand up and realize that we don't have to depend on the Democrats. We don't have to depend on the Republicans to lead us out of the darkness like these candidates, mainstream candidates are saying, or the mainstream media is saying. We can do it ourselves. So this Tuesday, the 22nd, January 22nd at 3 p.m., we're having a meeting where we're going to discuss qualification and a few other things. I will get a sign-up sheet for anybody who's interested. And in the meantime, all I can say is just keep fighting the good fight, and I hope to see you out there from next November. Thank you.